Welcome, listeners. This is Ivan Franklin Rose, and this is I Only Get Stressed on Days That End in Y. In this episode, we'll be covering the 7 types of friends that everyone needs, the health benefits of having friends, how to recognize good friends from bad ones, and finally, how to set boundaries with friends and why it might be necessary. First, the 7 types of friends everyone needs. In an article in Nice News on July 29th, 2024 by Kate Daniel, she says, "Friends, we all need them. They can lift our spirits, offer support, and give us a sense of belonging. Research suggests they're also crucial for health and well-being. People with strong friendships tend to be happier and live longer than those without. One meta-analysis found quality social ties are even more important than diet and exercise, and not having enough of them could be as detrimental as smoking cigarettes." No matter how many friends are in your circle, you're likely to have a few different types, each of which plays a different role. Marissa G. Franco, a psychologist and friendship expert, says, if we treat each of these friendships differently, we can harness what's best about them in a way that best works for us and the friendship. Here's a look at the different types of friendships and how they can enhance your life. First, workplace friends. Work friends keep our spirits up, validate our complaints about our job or industry, and provide much-needed predictability in our work lives. Lauren Napolitano, a clinical psychologist, told Today. A 2022 Gallup report showed that the importance of having a work bestie has increased since COVID-19 pandemic, even with the rise in hybrid and remote work. Data gathered by the global research company has also indicated that people who have a work best friend are more likely to be productive, innovative, and willing to share ideas. Plus, those with workplace friendships have more fun on the clock and are less likely to get burned out, among other benefits. Close friends are there for you through it all. They're your biggest cheerleaders and trusted confidants with whom you can comfortably be yourself. In these relationships, there's mutual respect and a sense of comfort and security. You might call daily or go on years without seeing each other, but know that you can always pick up where you left off. In a relationship where you can feel comfortable being yourself and sharing your innermost thoughts and emotions without fear of judgment or rejection, clinical psychologist Anaya Raja told Mind Body Green, a website established to provide readers with information, inspiration, and motivation to live their healthiest and happiest lives. According to another clinical psychologist, Anjali Ferguson, these are the most important friendships for mental health, she explained to Psychology Today. These relationships challenge us to support us simultaneously while helping us grow through validation and safety. Because these tight-knit relationships require time and energy to cultivate and maintain, most people only have a few. Research by leading friendship expert Robin Dunbar suggests around 3 to 5 is the sweet spot. Next is lifelong friends. Lifelong friends have been there with you for years, usually from childhood or early adolescence. In a TikTok video, relationship expert Wendy Walsh explained that these people remind you to be authentic because spending time with them transports you back to your childhood. They likely know your parents and siblings and understand how your family and environment influenced your development. Although you might not speak with them regularly, their depth of understanding can give you a sense of security in the friendship. Napolitano told Today, and as you age and navigate challenging life events, added that the stability of these individuals can be particularly crucial. Next is older friends. Most people choose friends in their age range who share similar life experiences. However, people 10 years or more your senior may have more lived experience, enabling them to provide a broader perspective. Chances are they'll have lived through some of the same challenges you're now facing and can offer valuable insights. Being exposed to ways of thinking that people in your immediate age group may not be exposed to is a big benefit of multi-generational friendships, friendship expert Shasta Nelson told Well and Good magazine. Moreover, older adults can be incredibly inspiring. Whether they've amassed professional accolades, are living adventurously in their golden years, or sport their wrinkles and gray hairs with pride, their accomplishments and attitude may be a positive influence. Then there are younger friends. Younger friends can offer a fresh perspective too. For instance, young people tend to be more current on technology and popular culture, which can teach you new skills and broaden your horizons. This phenomenon, sometimes known as reverse mentoring, can benefit both parties, according to wellandgood.com. That's because traditional mentoring, whether an older person guides a younger person counterpart, can occur and give the older friend a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Befriending somebody who's younger and helping them walk through a life stage or experience that you have already gone through can foster closeness. And that can feel really good, therapist and friendship expert Miriam Kiermaier says. A younger friend can also provide a sense of vitality. Although age is just a number and people can feel sprightly at any stage of life, younger people tend to be more energetic, which may be infectious and invigorating. Next are friends of convenience. Pals you meet through proximity, including roommates, neighbors, and yoga class buds, are considered friends of convenience. They may last a few months or a lifetime, but regardless, they're essential. They can offer a sense of belonging or support during a period of adjustment or transition, which can be a much-needed stress reducer, Ferguson says. If these friends are associated with a particular hobby, all the better, as they could encourage you to continue pursuing your passion. A 2023 meta-analysis that included data from more than 93,000 older adults found that people with hobbies or activities done for pleasure reported being healthier, happier, and more satisfied with life. These friendships that are confined to certain circumstances tend to be less intimate than a more general friend who you know across different circumstances, but they do serve a role and a purpose such as that when we are in the setting in which we most interact with that friend, it improves our experience, Franco explained on mindbodygreen.com. Next are same life stage friends. In his often quoted poem, Brian Drew Chalker wrote that people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Relationships that occur for a reason fulfill a specific immediate need, while those that last for a season can bolster you during a particular life stage. These relationships may not last a lifetime, but are invaluable nonetheless. Whether you're headed off to college, getting married, going through a divorce, moving to a new city, or changing careers, these friends can empathize as they might be going through the same thing. We need friends who can support us and inspire us as they navigate the same challenges Napolitano told today. We learn from their mistakes and successes, and we feel that this kind of friend is uniquely invested in helping us navigate this chapter of life. In a related article, published in the Very Well Mind, October 31st, 2023, by Sanjana Gupta and reviewed by Sabrina Romanoff, PsyD, she speaks of 4 types of friendships and says, "We know that friendship is important to our health and happiness. In fact, research shows us that friends are as important to our well-being as family. However, friendship can span a ton of different types of friendships. There are the friends we only meet at parties, and there are our ride-or-die BFFs. There are the friends we've grown up with who know our lives inside and out, and there are work friends whom we eat lunch with every day. There are friends we hang out with once in a while, and friends whom we can't go a day without talking to. All of these different types of friends play a different role in our lives. Whatever type of friends you have, it's important to know the signs of a good friend versus a bad friend, and how to know if someone isn't a good friend anymore. We'll cover that later. At a glance, acquaintances are people we know but haven't really spent time with. Casual friends are the friends we hang out with at work or pottery class for company and camaraderie. Close friends are our besties that we share everything with. Lifelong friends or childhood friends are practically family. All of these different types of friends contribute to the social fabric of our lives, offering support, comfort, advice, companionship, a sense of belonging, some laughs, and a whole lot of memories. Very Well Mind tapped Britt Malusky, LMSW, a practitioner at the dorm, to unpack her 4 different types of friendships and how they fit into our lives. First, acquaintances. Acquaintances are friends we've met a few times, either at parties or through mutual friends. We kind of sort of know their names and a little bit about their lives. However, we probably haven't had any deep heart-to-heart conversations with them or spent much time with them one-on-one. Acquaintances are people whom we've had surface-level interactions with without any significant emotional involvement in the relationship, Maluski explains. Acquaintances can offer friendly interactions. We might have a friendly, casual chat with an acquaintance if we run into them at a party or coffee shop. The vibe is typically easy breezy. They offer social media connections. We may like or comment on each other's social media posts from time to time. And networking opportunities. We may occasionally help each other out with ideas, advice, or connections, particularly if we discover that we share a common hobby or interest. Next, casual friends. Casual or social friends are people we might befriend at the office, gym, or book club. For instance, we know more about the person than we would about an acquaintance. However, the foundation of the relationship often rests on shared environments or activities, like a sports team, a workplace, or a hobby group. Maluski explains. The connection is more tied to the shared activity than a strong personal bond. We might interact with these friends fairly regularly because of the shared environment or activity. As we get to know each other, we might start to chill with them before, during, or after the activity. Casual friends might offer companionship. Casual friends are our go-to people for activities such as getting lunch together at work or hitting up the neighborhood juice bar after yoga class. Shared interest. We might have common interest or hobbies with these friends. Whether it's a love for a particular sport, a hobby like baking, or an enthusiasm for a specific TV series, casual friends provide an outlet for discussing shared interests. Lighthearted conversation. We can engage in light and fun conversations with casual friends. These conversations may involve laughter and playful banter as we spend time together and discuss everyday topics. And low-pressure interactions. Unlike close friends or family members, there's less pressure and emotional investment in casual friendships. We can enjoy each other's company without the expectation of being intimately involved in each other's lives. Then there's close friends. Close friends are our besties, the people in our inner circle. These are the friends that we bond with instantly, talk to often, share our struggles with, and confide our deepest, darkest fears to. These are often the friends that our values most closely align with, Maluski explains. Close friends offer emotional support. Close friends are our emotional anchors. They provide a safe space where we can freely express our thoughts, feelings, and fears without worry about being judged. Trust. These friends are the ones we can count on no matter what. They're loyal to us and have our back. Comfort. Close friends provide comfort and consolation in times of loss, heartbreak, and grief. They understand our pain and offer emotional and practical support. Also, fun. Close friendships are also characterized by a lot of fun and laughter. We have inside jokes, common interest, and a shared sense of humor together. Quality time. Spending time with close friends is a priority. We enjoy each other's company and make an effort to connect regularly, whether over a meal, coffee, or a fun activity. These friends are our go-to people for celebrating birthdays, holidays, achievements, and special occasions. Advice. Close friends are our sounding boards. When we're considering an idea or facing a dilemma, they offer support, advice, guidance, and perspective. Love. Close friendships are built on a foundation of love and care. These friends accept us for who we are, flaws and all, and love us unconditionally. Our well-being is generally important to them. Accountability. Close friends hold us accountable for our actions and decisions. They give us honest feedback, helping us grow and make better choices. Their inputs come from a place of love and genuine concern. Lastly is lifelong friends. Lifelong friends are the people we've been friends with since childhood. These are often the friends you can be your most authentic self with, says Maluski. Lifelong friends offer steadfastness. Lifelong friends have a steadfastness that is similar to that of family members. They've been a part of our life's journey from childhood to adulthood. They've been a constant presence in our lives, and their friendship has stood the test of time. Also, shared experiences. These friends have witnessed the different phases of our lives and crossed every milestone with us. Our shared history creates a strong sense of connection and understanding. Belonging. In many cases, lifelong friends become as close as family. We share traditions, holidays, and significant life events with them, creating a deep sense of belonging. Also, familial ties. Lifelong friends are often close to our family members and vice versa, creating familial ties that go beyond just our relationship. And timelessness. These friendships transcend time and distance. Even if we haven't seen each other in years, it feels like no time has passed at all when we reunite. Lifelong friends pick up right where they left off. Lifelong memories are another benefit. Lifelong friends are keepers of our shared memories. They remember the childhood stories, the inside jokes, and the adventures we've all had together, making every reunion a trip down memory lane. But friendships ebb and flow. These categories aren't necessarily permanent, fixed, or as clear-cut as we might want them to be, and that's okay, says Milewski. For instance, he explains that an acquaintance can become a close friend, or a work colleague who starts off as a casual friend can become a best friend with time. On the other hand, knowing someone from childhood doesn't always guarantee an intimate connection. Childhood friends need more than history. They require mutual support and effort. He adds that relationships, friendships included, are destined to naturally ebb and flow, aligning with one's personal growth. For example, how we are able to show up in a friendship when we are in high school or in college years may look different than when we are in the throes of new parenthood or a demanding career. What are the signs of a good friend? If you're trying to determine whether someone is a good friend, Milewski recommends asking yourself the following questions. Do you feel comfortable being your most genuine, authentic self around this person? Do they generally bring out the best in you? Do you trust them with the information you share with them? Do you feel respected and embraced for who you are? Can you confidently seek their assistance? Can you safely express your disagreement? Are open conversations and constructive feedback a part of your dynamic? If your responses to these questions are predominantly yes, chances are that you have a good friend in this person, says Milewski. Let's talk about 6 benefits of friendship and why it's so important to stay close. In an article by Arlen Kusick, M.A., updated on April 24, 24, in the Very Well Mind, and reviewed by David Sussman, Ph.D. David is a clinical psychologist with 30 years' experience. Arlen is the author of the Anxiety Workbook and founder of the website about social anxiety. She has a master's degree in clinical psychology. She says, invest in your besties. In an age where many of us feel lonelier and more disconnected than ever, despite being chronically online, it's never been more important to invest extra energy into our friendships. Platonic relationships are sometimes overlooked in our quest for romantic ones, but friendship is just as important to our psychological well-being. Friendships can enrich your life in countless ways. Good friends teach you about yourself and challenge you to be better. They encourage you to keep going when times get tough and celebrate your successes with you. They help you build community. But friends do a lot more than give you a shoulder to cry on. They also have a positive impact on your health. Some research even says friendships are as important to your well-being as eating right and exercising. Here's why. First, friends are good for your physical health. It turns out that healthy relationships actually contribute to good physical health. Having a close circle of friends can decrease your risk of health problems, like diabetes, heart attack, and stroke. Having strong social ties can also decrease feelings of loneliness, which evidence shows can take a toll on your longevity. According to a 2010 review, people with strong relationships have half the risk of premature death from all causes. Special isolation and loneliness are linked to a variety of health issues, such as high blood pressure, substance abuse, heart disease, and even cancer. Friends encourage healthy behaviors. One possible explanation for those health benefits is that friendships can help make lifestyle changes that can have a direct impact on your well-being. For example, your friends can help you set and maintain goals to eat better and exercise more. They can also watch out for you and give a heads up when any unhealthy behaviors like drinking too much gets out of hand. Additionally, people are more motivated and likely to stick to a weight loss or exercise program when they do it with a buddy. It's much easier to get out and stay active when you have a friend by your side. That friend may also suggest activities that you would not have considered on your own, thus pushing you outside your comfort zone to challenge your anxiety. Friends provide emotional support. If you find yourself going through a hard time, having a friend to help you through can make the transition easier. Research also shows that happiness is contagious among friends. One study of high school students found that those who were depressed were twice as likely to recover if they had happy friends. Likewise, kids were half as likely to develop depression if their friends had a healthy mood. Next, friends help build your confidence. Everyone has self-doubts and insecurities every now and then, but having friends who support you play a big role in building your self-esteem. When people around you provide validation, it impacts your ability to love and appreciate yourself. Supportive friends can help you feel more confident by offering praise and reassurance when you're feeling unsure. They'll shine a light on just how amazing you are and how much you have to offer others. And friends help you beat stress. Everyone goes through stressful events. Even if you know you have people you can count on, you may be less likely to even perceive a tough time as stressful. Spending time with friends can also help reduce stress. According to Harvard Medical School, social connections help relieve levels of stress, which can harm the heart's arteries, gut function, insulin regulation, and immune system. Friends can also help you cope with stressful situations. According to one small study, when children hang out with their friends during a stressful situation, they produce less cortisol, a hormone released when the body is under stress. As the song goes, we all need somebody to lean on. A lack of friends can leave you feeling lonely and without support, which makes you vulnerable to other problems such as depression and substance abuse, as we mentioned earlier. Friends help you cultivate community. While we might all be pretty good at building online communities, our in-person ones are seriously lacking. When we invest the energy in our friendships and then encourage our friends to be friends with each other, it fosters a sense of community. A healthy community can help us feel more at home in our towns and cities when we're out and about and we see people we know, like at the grocery stores, at a local cafe, etc. It lets us know that we are part of something bigger and that we all belong. Lastly, friends push you to be your best. Ever heard some version of the phrase, you are the average of the people you spend your time with? The people we're friends with have the power to influence our own values and character. When you prioritize friendships with people who are generous with their time, help others, are ambitious, or family-oriented, you are more likely to develop these values yourself. Great friends have the power to mold you into the version and the best version of yourself possible. They see you and love you for who you truly are. They encourage you and push you to do better and be the person you want to be, your ideal self. Britt Maluski, LMSW, who wrote the earlier article, which included signs of a good friend, also listed signs of a bad friend. They are betrayal. The person betrays your confidence or spreads gossip about you behind your back. Jealousy. The person competes with you and feels jealous or threatened by your success. Constant criticism. They constantly criticize you, belittle your achievements, or make hurtful remarks, ending your self-esteem, eroding your self-worth. Self-centeredness. They are self-centered and tend to consistently put their needs and interests ahead of yours. They are dismissive of your feelings, problems, or accomplishments, and only focus on their own. One-sidedness. They never initiate contact, plan get-togethers, or reach out. You're the one making all the effort to maintain the friendship. Manipulation. They manipulate you emotionally, gaslight you, guilt trip you into doing things you're not comfortable with, take advantage of your kindness, or create unnecessary drama in your life. And disrespect for boundaries. They disregard your boundaries and push you into situations you're uncomfortable with. Finally, inauthenticity. If you find it challenging to be your true self, feel compelled to compromise your authenticity, and are always treading on eggshells around them, the relationship might not be a positive one, says Malusky. How to know someone is no longer a good friend, if they change, in other words. Sometimes we refer to people as our friends because we have shared history with them, even if the dynamic has changed over time. There are many factors that go into whether or not someone is still a good friend, but most of it drills down to how you feel in the relationship over time, says Malusky. He recommends asking yourself, is the friendship feeling one-sided? Do you feel that you are no longer being heard, understood, or prioritized? Are your boundaries not being respected? Does your time spent together feel draining? Has there been a breach of trust with no effort to repair it? Do you feel like they're competing with you in some way? Are you feeling used? These are the questions to ask. If the answer to these questions is yes, it may be worth reevaluating your friendship and discussing your concerns with your friends. So let's talk about how to set boundaries with friends and why it's necessary. In an article by author, consultant, journalist, educator, and speaker Barbara Field, published on July 13, 2023 in the Very Well Mind, and reviewed by Sabrina Romanoff, PsyD, she says, setting healthy boundaries in friendships can help you protect your identity and personal space. It can also prevent others from taking advantage of you or limiting what you want to do. Setting boundaries can enhance your mental and emotional well-being and actually strengthen your friendships. This part will explore what boundaries are, when they're necessary, and why create them. Her article will then discuss setting healthy boundaries, maintaining and enforcing them, and finally supporting friendships and their boundaries. What really are boundaries? Boundaries are guidelines for acceptable behaviors, expectations, and personal limits. Boundaries make it clear to the friends in your life what you want and will accept. While certain behaviors are never acceptable, like bullying and gaslighting, you can stop well-intentioned overstepping by sharing about your boundaries. Laurel Healy, LCSW, says, sometimes we have friends we really like, but they make assumptions about the relationship that make us uncomfortable. They may drop by unannounced or expect to be included in everything we do. Rather than becoming resentful or letting an otherwise wonderful friend go, the most respectful thing we can do is address our differences. No rights, no wrongs. So how do you determine when boundaries are needed? These lines you draw up help both you and your friends. Friends may criticize what you're wearing or make you feel bad about your goal of running a marathon. Without realizing it, they could be crossing the line. What kind of scenarios might prompt a talk about boundaries? Here are a few examples. A good friend insists you reserve a weekend getaway for both of you, although you're too busy to travel. A childhood friend is often rude to you in front of others, but you don't want to make a fuss. Maybe your work friend vents obsessively and needs emotional support day and night after their recent romantic breakup. You feel guilty if you don't make yourself available to them. Or your best friend disrespects your values or beliefs, and you've never spoken up about this before. Why create boundaries? It's often easier to dismiss boundary-crossing behavior than deal with it. But avoidance coping is maladaptive. Instead of facing the problem head-on, this form of coping can create stress and anxiety. Other common byproducts of having no boundaries include resentment and distress. While it's tempting to look away, you need to speak up. Allow others to overrun your boundaries has unhealthy consequences for you. Being unwilling to share your feelings or say no also prevents the other person from knowing what you feel and expect. Setting up a discussion about your boundaries can contribute to open communication and mutual understanding between you and your friend. Although the thought of having a talk like this might create feelings of tension or dread, a scientific study identified lower levels of stress between friends who conversed about challenges compared to those who did not. Researchers analyzed communication during collaborative problem-solving amongst younger and older women. Results showed reduced levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, in the communication between friends, even though the discussion was about a challenging subject. How do you set healthy boundaries? Good boundaries are clear, concise, and consistent. If you believe this will be an awkward conversation, don't forget to actively listen, ask questions, be genuine, and even use humor to lighten the discussion. Here are tips on how to have this important conversation that will ultimately honor both you and your friend. Remember to use I statements and avoid accusations or insults. Begin by saying how you value the friendship. Communicate your boundaries simply and clearly. Express your needs, wants, and limits. Don't apologize or make excuses. Be firm, but also kind. Remind your friend you care about them. Let's go over how to maintain and enforce boundaries. After stating the boundaries, your friends should understand what you're asking of them. Direct communication enables you and your friend to avoid misunderstandings and even better the relationship. To help you enforce these boundaries, you can use phrases like, "That is hurtful to me, so I want it to stop," or "This is what I need," or "I understand you're trying to help, but I want to make my own decision." According to Laurel Healy, LCSW, setting a boundary is about having a discussion to determine how to have the best relationship possible. It's important to be specific about what we want, to own our feelings, and to emphasize what we value about the person. Although these discussions are difficult, we give our friends a chance to change behavior that they may not recognize as unwelcome. If your friends resist your boundaries, keep reminding them. Provide gentle guidance, and when necessary, use more assertive communication. Assertive communication is all about stating your needs clearly but respectfully, being careful not to belittle or dismiss other people's thoughts or opinions. By being assertive, you let others know where you stand, while also acknowledging their position. You can become more assertive by being honest, avoiding judgment, and focusing on your feelings. It may take practice, but over time, you may find that being assertive helps ensure you and others are respected. If they refuse to honor the boundaries you set, decide if the friendship is worth keeping. Supporting friendship and its boundaries are important. Friendships are fundamental for our growth. They offer trust, closeness, and intimacy, which are valuable for our psychological and emotional well-being. To trust means to rely on another person because you feel safe with them and have confidence that they will not hurt or violate you. Trust is the foundation of relationships because it allows you to be vulnerable and open up to the person without having to defensively protect yourself, says Romanoff. Friendship quality greatly affects our mental development during adolescence. A systematic review was recently conducted to understand the association between friendship quality and adolescents' mental well-being. The review showed an association with happiness and good self-esteem and reinforced the value of healthy friendships. To have the best quality friendship you can, discuss the importance of respecting and supporting the boundaries your friend would like to set too. By sharing our boundaries, we foster a culture of empathy and understanding. Empathy is the ability to emotionally understand what other people feel, see things from their point of view, and imagine yourself in their place. Essentially, it is putting yourself in someone else's position and feeling what they are feeling. Honoring reciprocity is a win-win for both of you. To summarize, please re-listen to the health benefits of friendship and do your very best to cultivate the right kind for you. Learn how to recognize potential good friends and acknowledge the signs of possible bad ones. Finally, feel comfortable in setting boundaries when necessary for your mental health and the health of your friendships. Until next time, listeners, start each day with a smile. Make friends of all the various types we discussed when you can, and value the good ones you already have. Start each day with a positive attitude, knowing that good things are going to happen for you, knowing that you're going to meet interesting people and have good things during the day come your way. The more you know these things in your heart, in your soul, and in your mind, the more you think these positive thoughts, the more your day will open up to amazing new things. You'll be surprised. Until next time, goodbye.